Baby, baby. Amy Grant. Stop for a minute. Baby, I'm so glad you're mine. Baby, I'm so glad you're mine. Torre Zambra. This is a label we've been killing it with. The regular Montepulciano d'Abruzzo. Okay, Patrick, do I go into the whole Montepulciano d'Abruzzo Vino Nobile Montepulciano thing, or I just... That could take a while. We're on a time crunch here. So anyway, Montepulciano d'Abruzzo. Montepulciano's the grape. Abruzzo is the area. We're on the east side of the Apennines, the spine of central Italy. So we're on the Adriatic side of Italy. And over here, Montepulciano, the grape, not the area, as in Tuscany, Montepulciano here is king. And Torre Zambra has been killing it for us with their great. They made it, Montepulciano was like 10, 12 bucks a bottle. We just absolutely kill it with. But the other day, the rep for Torre Zambra came in and they were like, do you want super Torre Zambra? And we were like, okay, yeah, feed us. And so we tasted this wine. And at first we thought the Villamagna was like some kind of fantasy name for the wine, you know, like Tignanello or Sassicaia or something. And we're tasting the wine, and we're like, okay, so this is, and I'm looking, I'm like, it doesn't say Montepulciano d'Abruzzo on it anywhere. And they were like, that's because it is not Montepulciano d'Abruzzo. And it's like, that's funny, isn't everything here Montepulciano d'Abruzzo? No, it is not. And that is the subject of today's offer, which is a pretty amazing story. Villamagna is a 90-acre, small, subzone within Montepulciano d'Abruzzo that is like a super zone, right? Super limited, tiny production, but considered of higher quality than the straight Montepulciano d'Abruzzo DOC itself. So what you have here is basically the thought process is, this is like Montepulciano d'Abruzzo, but like on steroids. It's the finest terroir. These hillside vineyards, very small location right around Villamagna. There's technically 4 villages that are allowed to be incorporated into Villamagna, but Villamagna is like the main village. And wouldn't you know it, who's the biggest landowner in Villamagna? These guys, Torre Zambra. They're based in Villamagna. And since they're based in Villamagna, a large percentage of the production is technically Villamagna, and I'm sure some of it's probably Montepulciano d'Abruzzo, and they blend it and they buy whatever they do. But in this case, this is the first straight Villamagna that we've ever tasted and sold. So what a moment, right? We've been doing this forever. And you know, we're still finding new stuff, still breaking down barriers. So obviously with 90 acres or whatever it is, Villamagna is a super small appellation. I did some research, there's maybe 3 or 4 producers producing Villamagna right now that I was aware of, with Torre Zambra being the biggest and the best. So this is, just like with the other appellation, this is 100% Montepulciano by law, it has to be. So it's 100% Montepulciano, aged in barrels, and from the outstanding 2019 vintage. 2019 is a hell of a year. Montepulciano, if you guys haven't had the wine before, a lot of you have, just is known for its ability to create these fabulous everyday drinking wines. A bit like Carignan in the south of France, has this wonderful ability to have high yields and produce wines with structure and color and richness and intensity, even with these higher yields. So it's a real secret blending grape. It's a grape that really delivers, you know, big, dark, punchy $10 wine and delivers exquisite value when it's done right. A lot of times it's not done right. They use staves, they use chips, they cheat, you know, they do all these sorts of things to make a wine as reasonably priced as possible. In this case, the Villamagna, this 100% Montepulciano with the volume turned up, is done all real deal. Exquisite wine, look at the color, you get that classic dark cherry, almost fading in the black center here with this wine. Tannins. Sometimes the tannins on Montepulciano d'Abruzzo can be a little furry. They can be a little chewy, a little grainy. What we have here is we have very fine tannin allied to all this wonderful, dark, punchy Montepulciano fruit. In fact, you have like a more balanced, complete wine. it's not, I've had Montepulciano Bruzzos that are even bigger, but the point is this Villamagna wine is a little finer, right? It's a little more like, where, you know, Montepulciano Bruzzo, you're almost expecting this cowboy wine. Arrabbiata, give me a spicy pasta, da 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 da. And in this case, you're like, oh, I might have the lobster, or maybe the duck, right? This wine is giving me that vibe, that mojo when I taste it. And for that, it should be lauded, because sometimes it can be really hard to make classy Montepulciano Bruzzo. Even the guys that are supposedly classy, the cult guys, Emilio Pepe, Valentini, those wines are funky. They're whack. You know, they're super reductive and smelly and a little gassy, and I never really get that. I want purity, and I don't want to work. I don't want to fight too hard. I don't want to fight the wine. And this wine does not fight. This wine kind of saddles up to you and says, hey, big boy. You know what I mean? 98 points, Luca Maroni, which, okay, fine. I know some of you give us shiznit for the Luca Maroni scores, but here's the deal. Just like with Suckling and some of these other guys, fact is they know what they like. And if your palate lines up with what they like, when a guy like Luca chucks 98 or 99 or 100 points, which I know crazy score, but when he does chuck that number at some of these wines, it's going to guarantee to provide drinking pleasure. He really looks for that, you know, his pleasantness index. You know, in the bad Italian translation, he looks for that pleasantness index, that man, I could just haul off and drink this for hours. And is that a bad thing? Answer, no, it's not. And this wine, big 98 points for Luca Maroni. It's got 90 plus scores from other guys too, like 92 from Suckling and this kind of deal. But the point is, this is a very Luca Maroni wine, and that means you can drink a lot of it, and that means they're probably going to sell a lot of it. So I would jump on board with this. This is a very special product, one of a kind, well, maybe four of a kind, but first I've seen in this neck of the woods. So get your Villamagna on. Villamagna on. Okay.